Whether you're a novice lifter, you go to the gym every day, or you've never touched a barbell in your entire life, you've probably seen or heard about what's known as a deadlift. Hi, I'm Connor, and I'm going to teach you guys a little bit about how to perform this exercise properly. So there's a few things that you need to know before even touching the bar, and that's going to be about your stance. Easy way to figure out where your feet should go is going to sound a little silly, but trust me, it works. What you're going to want to do is just close your eyes and jump. It's going to tell you about where you want your feet. Mine are about hip width, maybe a little wider. I tend to go a little bit wider for my hips, but it's really whatever is the most comfortable for you when you bend down or whatever. Sometimes, I know when it's been a long day and I'm not very loose, it's easier to go a little bit wider. It feels a little bit more comfortable. But so it's really about comfort level. You don't want to be, as long as you're not really close or super far apart, you'll be okay. So now that we know where our feet should go, you're gonna automatically know where your hands go. And that's on the either side of your calves. Right about there. You can probably go about an inch away from that. You're not gonna go too much farther though. That's gonna keep everything nice and tight and protected when you go to lift the bar. So now that we know how far apart our feet should be and where our hands should go, we can talk about where our feet go in relation to the bar. And that's easy. You wanna keep the bar right over where your shoelaces would be. So it's about mid-foot, about right there. So when you step up to the bar, it should be right over where your shoelaces would normally be. I'm not wearing any shoes, but you know where your shoelaces are. So now that we're in position, we got the bar right over where our shoelaces would be. We got our feet about hip width, a little bit wider. We know where our hands go when we go to pick the bar up. Next thing we talk about is where our hips go when we go to pick it up. So you want to keep your hips in between your knees and your shoulder blades, your scapulas back here. So as you bend down to pick up the bar, you're going to keep your spine nice and straight, neutral spine. You're going to look forward. You're not looking up, you're not looking down, just keeping a nice, neutral, straight spine. So you come down, nice straight spine. See my hips? They're in between my knees and my shoulder blades, right about halfway. Nice straight spine. Yep. So the purpose of that is to maintain your point of gravity. If you go too far down, you're gonna risk falling backwards. If you go too far forward or not far enough down, you risk falling forward or injuring your lower spine. So just make sure your hips are in between your shoulder blades and your knees. It's really important. So now that we know our stance, we can start approaching the bar. So I'm gonna step up to the bar, right over top of where our shoelaces would go. Come down, nice straight spine, looking forward. Before you start, you're gonna brace your core, so tense your abs up. That's gonna protect your lower spine because your core goes all the way from the front to your thoracic spine back here. It's your natural weight belt. It protects everything. So to start the lift, come down, nice straight spine, tense your core, and you're gonna start by pulling the tension out of the bar. So what that's gonna do is gonna prime your latissimus dorsi and your core. It's gonna tense your hamstrings. It's gonna just make sure that your body's all good and ready to pick something up. So we're gonna begin. In proper position, straight spine, hips in the middle of our shoulder blades and knees. Pull the tension out. And as you start to lift from your shins to about your knees, you're gonna imagine trying to push the floor away from you, kind of like a leg press. So instead of focusing on lifting the bar up, you're going to imagine pushing the floor away from you. That's going to help you mentally remember where you want your strength going. So as you get just past the knees, we're going to concentrate on driving our hips forward, squeezing the glutes, and pulling the rest of the weight all the way up to the top. That's going to keep everything nice and tight, keep your lower spine protected. So a common error that happens at this point, you'll see people lean back. And that puts a lot of pressure on your lower spine, which you do not want, because it can result in injury. So now that we've got all the way to full extension, we're going to slowly and controlled manner, we're going to load the bar back down to the ground. Just nice and slow, keeping everything tight with your core still braced, back straight, keeping your knees at about hip width, just slowly setting the bar down. That's a complete deadlift.